Hi guys, and thanks for joining me again for another case on missing pieces. I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in so far. Thanks for taking the time to hear these people's stories and keep their cases actively supported. In this episode, I'll be discussing Dylan Rounds and the suspicious circumstances of his disappearance. Dylan is a 19-year-old farmer who grew up in southeastern Idaho. According to his parents, Dylan was just born to be a farmer and was already driving a tractor before most kids were riding bikes. Dylan's lifelong dream was to farm his own land, and in 2019 he made that dream a reality when he purchased a plot in Lucin, Utah, near the Nevada border. Box Elder County, where the farm is located, is a mostly barren area, and the farm has miles of desert surrounding it in every direction. Dylan spent the next 2 summers working the land and living in a small camper on the property. The camper had no running water, however, so Dylan would often return to Idaho to spend time staying at both his mother's and father's homes. His hard work paid off, though, and on May 26, 2022, he would announce to family members that he was expecting his first crop this summer. His parents didn't know it then, but it would be the last time they would speak to their son. The excitement about the farm would quickly turn to panic when just a few days later, Dylan seemingly vanished. May 26 was also the last confirmed visual sighting of Dylan, when he was seen eating a meal at the Saddle Sore Bar in Montello, Nevada, about a half-hour drive from his farm. He was heard from again 2 days later on May 28th, when he spoke on the phone with his grandmother. She reports that his phone call ended abruptly, though, when Dylan informed her that it had started raining outside and he needed to move his truck under cover so the contents in the back wouldn't get ruined. This was the last time that anyone has heard from Dylan. Just after Memorial Day weekend, on Monday, May 30th, Dylan's mother would receive another phone call. But this time it wasn't from Dylan. It was from Dylan's best friend, JD, who was calling to inform her that none of Dylan's friends in the area had seen or heard from him since Saturday. It was unlike Dylan to go that long without contacting someone, so everyone was instantly worried. Candace reported Dylan as missing the same day and immediately began the search. Within the first hour of the search, Dylan's boots were located behind a dirt pile on his property, about 100 yards away from his grain truck but in the opposite direction of his camper. This was apparently Dylan's only pair of boots. He found a specific type and brand he liked, and he would just wear the same pair until they broke down, then buy another pair of the exact same kind. So seeing his boots lying on the ground was a worrisome sight for his parents. They don't believe that he just walked out shoeless into the desert. Detectives would later find a spot of blood on the boots and send them away to get tested, but the results of that testing has either not been finished or not yet released to the public. The discovery of Dylan's boots was only one of the many suspicious things that authorities and his family found when they searched his property. His maroon Ford pickup truck was left with many telling clues that someone had recently visited his farm. The weekend before Dylan went missing, it had rained on the farm, but the truck was clean with not even any mud on the tires or tracks on the ground near it. His family reports that it appears the truck was pressure washed. Also, the driver's seat had been moved into a position that could not possibly accommodate Dylan. Dylan is about 5'11", and the seat had been moved up so far that even Dylan's mother, Candace, who is only 4'11", was able to get in and reach the pedals in its current position. Finally, someone had placed Dylan's truck into four-wheel drive, a feature that his family was well aware didn't function. Dylan had often complained to family members about having to drive without it because it didn't work. In the following weeks, authorities and volunteers would band together to search an area covering over 3,000 miles. Drones, K-9 units, and horses have all been used to aid in the search, but no sign of Dylan has turned up anywhere. According to those closest to him, Dylan is very dedicated to his farm and never did drugs or even wasted time on video games. Disappearing from his farm and livelihood and cutting contact with family and friends is completely out of character for him. A press release from the Elko County Sheriff's Office stated that cell phone data was used to track Dylan's phone. and that the last cell phone communication from Dylan's phone was a call made from his phone on the 28th of May near his farm. Dylan was well liked by everyone who knew him, and nothing about his life in the previous weeks had seemed out of place, except for one odd encounter that he reported to his mother in the days before he went missing. According to his mother, Dylan said, "Mom, you wouldn't believe this guy who jumped out of the desert. He was bloody and didn't have any shoes on. He wanted a ride. I didn't give him a ride." However, weeks later, a man would voluntarily call Candace claiming to be that very man, and his story is slightly different than the one she heard from her son. The man said his name was Chase and that Dylan in fact had given him a ride, but that he didn't know where Dylan was now. He claimed to have an alibi, but the family are still waiting to hear whether that alibi has been cleared. Is this mystery man Chase just an innocent guy trying to clear his name, or is he intentionally trying to throw off any trail that leads to him? No other real leads in Dylan's case have been found. In another coincidental turn, Dylan's neighbor was arrested days after he went missing on a gun possession charge, but authorities haven't listed the neighbor as a suspect or person of interest. Dylan is 5'11" and 160 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair. Anyone with information regarding his case is asked to contact the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office or the Missing in America Network anonymous tip line. The family has offered a $100,000 reward for direct information that leads to the safe return or recovery of Dylan and arrest and conviction of the person responsible for his disappearance. Thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more missing persons cases. Bye!